Hey guys, SickMotion here. I was super excited to go to bed, but then I forgot I procrastinated doing these yesterday. And I might as well do them right now. It's actually a pretty short patch, so we'll go through it really quick here. Corky, we got some kind of bit of nerf buff here. The Valkyrie is 6 seconds shorter at level 1, but now it's 2 seconds longer at level 5. Honestly, you don't level this until way later in the game anyway, so this is going to make Corky's life feel a lot better for most parts of the game. Also, the Gatling gun got a pretty nice change here. The damage is more normalized, like the numbers before were gross to look at. The ticks per second now is upped, and it now ticks 16 times over 4 seconds. And the armor and magic reduction from the Gatling gun after 8 ticks is maxed. At max shred, any further ticks refresh the shred at the duration. To get like the full shred on Corky's Gatling gun, you pretty much had to get the entire duration of the Gatling gun on them, which was really hard to do and unrealistic in a lot of situations. So this will make it feel a lot better, where you only have to get a little bit of it onto them, and then any other ticks will just refresh that already max stacked shred. So quality of life things to Corky. You haven't seen him that much at all. Like I actually haven't seen really any Corkies since they changed the Trinity Force. Hitbox radius now matches Teemo's. I didn't realize Fizz had a smaller one than Teemo. Dang. Seastone Trident nerfed. It does a lower percentage of the target's missing health over 3 seconds. 2 seconds lower at max level, same at early level. So I think it's aimed at nerfing tanky Fizz because that's just a flat damage ratio that's been reduced, but it also will hurt any type of Fizz, obviously. Also, the Playful Trickster got nerfed for every Fizz. It's up 2 seconds at any level. So for anyone that hates playing against Fizz, you can rejoice now. Shaco now shows bonus damage from backstab separately when applied. So clarity stuff, cool. Massive buff. Just kidding. It's not really going to do that much other than look easier to read. Syndra just straight buffs AP ratio 0.1 on her W and zero point 0.1 on her E. That's going to make her feel real strong. I've actually seen a couple Syndras lately. I haven't seen any in a while. Xin got 5 health per level plus 9 health at level 1, so his overall health is a lot higher. I played against Xin today. I think they won the game, but Xin didn't feel like very impactful. It felt like he did Xin things. Xin and Aatrox, they dive in and then they hope that they win. Then they have a W that every so many hits it heals you and does damage, or one of them has to choose between healing and doing damage. They're basically the same champion, and they're both kind of, I don't know. They don't feel rewarding to play, in my opinion. Infinity Edge, straight buff 5 AD. Essence Reaver, straight buff 5 AD. Lord Dominic, straight buff 10 AD. Mortal Reminder, its counterpart, also 10 AD. So just some flat buffs, a lot to AD carries right there. This has been really nice on people, like I've been playing a lot of Jax lately. Cutlass is now 150 cheaper, so the total cost is now 1,500 gold, which is a lot easier to get. Saving up the combination for the Cutlass from the Vamp Scepter often felt really hard when you weren't doing amazingly. The overall cost for the Gunblade and the Bork are the same. They've just been increased by 150. So the combination cost. So nothing's changed on their final item, but getting the actual Cutlass will feel a lot better. Ghostblade got 5 AD nerfed off of it because everyone builds Ghostblade. It's the greatest spooky knife. Rod of Ages combination cost increased by 100. So the total gold is up by 100. And the percentage mana to health conversion is down from 0.25 to 0.2 across all of the catalyst items. I guess it was a little too strong on certain champions that made really good use out of it. Swain obviously is one of them as well. Grasp got nerf buffed. Heals you for less, but it does more damage. So depending on what you were wanting to do, the damage is back up to 3%, but the healing is down to 1.5%. So the healing got chunked off full percent of your max health, but the damage is up 0.5. So really depends on what you were trying to go for. Fervor is honestly what I've been taking on a lot of top lane champions, but basically I would have been taking Fervor on these champions before the graph nerfs and whatnot, Fervors just feels really strong on Trinity Force users now because of the extra attack speed. Uh, Fervor stacks per ability cast are now down to 1 from 2. That's for melee champions and for range champions. So you're not going to get to max stacks spamming that as quickly, but your auto attacks as a melee champion still give you 2, and you have a lot of attack speed building Trinity Force and whatnot. So honestly, I haven't noticed it stacking too much slower. I mean, a little bit, but it's not the worst. It still feels kind of the same as it did before for champions that were mainly stacking with attack speed. Double-edged sword now doesn't differentiate between melee and range champions. It just does 3% increased damage and 1.5% to yourself. So that's going to be a trade-off. A lot of AD carriers would always take the healing and sustain in lane early, but I mean, taking an extra 1.5% damage on an AD carry, I mean, if that's enough to kill you, the damage was probably going to kill you anyway. Doing the extra 3% damage as an AD carry with 2 hits, both of them crit, do over 1,000 damage with that. That could be an extra 30 damage. That could seem very helpful. But then you're missing that sustain in lane, which could end up snowballing you if you were able to get a little bit of extra sustain through the first couple minutes that it lets you win a fight at like 4 or 5 minutes in by a few health. So that's the point, though. It's supposed to feel like a trade-off, not just one's the best and you take it no matter what. So it's nice to have that. Natural talent, this kind of was never really taken. It was, but very seldom compared to the lifesteal bonuses. And the reason being is because this didn't give you any type of bonuses really early. It didn't feel that great to take until it started scaling. But now it scales to the same amount, but it actually gives you more flat early and scales less. So if you think about it, you're taking scaling runes to get to a certain amount. Now you're getting to that same amount with those scaling runes, but half of your scaling runes are flat, which wouldn't work that way, but just kind of a way to think about it. Also, Veteran Scars, health per rank is increased by 1, so it will give you 5 extra health if you get all your points into it, which you probably would. So it's 50 health rather than 45 instead of the shield and healing. So it actually might feel like, I mean, seeing 45 and seeing 50 is just like a visual thing, but the 50 just feels like it's way higher. So it's the whole 99 cents or $1. Never pay $1. 99 cents easy. Bard chime spawn rate every 50 seconds, down to 40 seconds, but the initial spawn rate is unchanged. Super huge Bard buff. Siphoning Strike. Wait, is this ARAM? Ah, shit, we're on ARAM now. No one really cares. All right, there's an ARAM change for that guy, that guy, that guy, and some summoner. Like, there's a lot of ARAM changes. If you're an ARAM player, you're probably going to want to go and look at all of this stuff. I rarely play ARAM, only if I'm drunk, and even then, it's seldom. But a lot of balance changes to ARAM. I just found out recently that there's actually a bunch of, like, hardcore ARAM players that are, like thousands of ARAM games that are outraged at some of these changes. I don't know how I saw it. I randomly saw a Reddit post, but there was like some serious aggravation from a lot of these ARAM pros, if you will. So interesting. I didn't realize there was that big of a gigantic diehard community for ARAM. I thought it was just kind of like, hey, I got like 20 minutes to kill. Let's go and play Murder Bridge. So more stuff with ARAM, bunch of removed items with ARAM, changed items with ARAM, buffed items with ARAM, new items with ARAM, added items with ARAM, ARAM. And the remake option is now apparently, I haven't seen it used yet. Basically, if any player is flagged AFK or disconnected for at least 90 seconds in the first 3 minutes, so basically half of the first 3 minutes, remake is available, except in the cases of a first blood against the player's team before the DC will prevent the remake vote. At the 3-minute mark, all players in the shorthanded team receive a message to prompt the vote by typing remake in chat. Basically, it tells you how it does it. The DC player takes full LP loss or drops a promo game. And if you are Diamond 5 or higher, all the players in your party will have that. So if you disconnect and they want to just end the game because they know you're not coming back, might as well. Anyone in your party will count it as a loss as well. If you're not part of the DC'd party, won't lose anything. You won't gain anything, won't lose anything, but you also won't waste another 17 minutes or even like 5 or 10 minutes if they're just straight pushing. A lot of the times you don't when someone's DC'd right at the start, you don't know if they're coming back or not. So you're actually trying to play out the game and hoping that even if they come back by like 8 or 9 minutes, unlikely you're going to win. You're going to be at a pretty big disadvantage, and so are they. However, sometimes you get early advantages that kind of let you feel like you can win. And then 30 minutes into the game, you've been playing 4v5, and it's just starting, the odds are going against you. That dude's still not back, and you're like, man, I wish there was a way that we knew this was going to happen earlier. So now a lot of things as well as people wouldn't want to let them push because you'd want to be like, well, maybe he'll come back. And even if he does, maybe we can win 4v5. I don't want to lose points for this. Now you don't lose points for this if someone gets screwed by having a DC on their team. Also, if a player DCs and it's like a first blood against the player's team before they leave or DC will prevent the remake vote. However, I read something, I'm not sure, I can't confirm, that if your team doesn't get first blooded but gets first blood, and then that person DCs, that you can still do the remake. I think. That's what I heard. Also, champion mastery points can be earned in ARAM games now, and on Twisted Treeline games now, and matchmaking games on Howling Abyss, Twisted Treeline, or any rotating game mode will not award champion mastery level 6 or 7 tokens. But you can still rank up random champions to level 5, I guess. So there's that. Bug fixes, Dark Thresh, Dark Ferris. Public service announcement, the Dark Thresh's lantern looks like a Syndra orb. Still has the circle around it, but I died today, and I was like, oh, there's actually a lantern beside me, but I didn't even realize it was there. It looks visually quite different. Get familiar with it if you have this Thresh skin on your team, or you may be sad like I was sad. And that's the end of the patch notes, so I didn't procrastinate it today. I told you they were fast. Thank you for watching, guys. If you found it helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already liked the video. Let me know that you enjoyed it so I know that this is worth my time and missing sleep for. And social media stream links underneath the video in the description as well. Take it easy. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.